one of the most common questions that we get is, how well does coat care foam, especially against the other guys? So we have everything measured out identically here. 800 milliliters, 800 milliliters, competitor, us. So we're gonna see which one does a better job foaming, plain and simple. So we're gonna do everything here on camera so that nobody can say anything about improper dilutions. In fact, actually, I'm gonna flash on the screen a video of when I was actually filling these up, and we actually gave a little bit more soap to the competitor just to be extra sure. Okay. So first, we're gonna put this on. Make sure to stir this up. Because we actually had to put, in this particular case, 6 ounces, because this particular pressure washer being a 1.2 GPM Ryobi 1500 PSI, it doesn't quite have as much GPM, generally speaking, as you would want, so you have to compensate that with a little bit extra soap. But you'll see on our directions, it'll call for less soap. So without further ado, make sure this is turned all the way up for maximum foam. So, as you can see here, no matter how hard you try with this soap, it has a little bit of a runny nature to it. So no matter how much soap you put, I've also tried even more soap than this, more than 6 ounces. No matter what you try to do, that's the most you can get out of it. And just to make sure we have no contamination, or as little as possible, we'll go ahead and rinse this off. Now we'll go ahead with our soap, Coat Care. Got that nice blue color. Make sure it's all mixed up. See how it mixes nice and easy too because of the thin viscosity. Viscosity, as we all know by now, doesn't determine soap efficacy. So now we'll hook this up. Make sure the dial's all the way turned up. See now how it's building that shaving cream thick snow foam right there. Whereas the other soap couldn't quite keep up. So this gives you a nice side-by-side. Again, this has been sitting on the panel for a little bit, but you saw even when it was immediately going on, it wasn't stacking quite the same way that Coat Care does. So another question we get a lot with Coat Care, what kind of protection does it add? The answer is it doesn't. It does not add protection. It has what's called slickness enhancers in it, so that when you're washing the car, it's an easier experience. It glides across the panel way easier, way less likely to scratch the paint. And a little bit goes a long way with this product, so as long as you follow the directions on the back, you'll be A-okay. So another thing that you always want to do when you're foaming a vehicle is go from bottom to top, which is actually the opposite of what you're doing in a bucket wash. And the idea here is that you're giving the foam the most time to dwell down the panel. So you go again, from bottom to the top. Bucket method. A lot of people are probably asking why there's just one bucket. There's a bunch of wash mitts in here. So that way you just use one side, the other, and then you go on to the next mitt. You're going to need about 10 to 12, or maybe even more, depending on your comfort level. And like so. See, now the panel's all hydrophobic again. That's exactly what we're looking for.